Hello everybody, this is Reg from microgrinder.com and this is my first video made at 50 snap rather than the 30 snap videos that I've been making for quite some time now. 50 is definitely more my regular game than 30. You'll see me have a lot more notes and tags on the players here than you do at 30 and what I'm hoping to demonstrate in this video and coming videos is the difference between the two levels. The first difference you may or may not see because I am playing at approximately 12:30 AM on a Monday morning, following on from a Sunday night. So the games aren't particularly heavy, but the thing you will see over the course of the next few videos are the games are definitely just a little bit more aggressive pre-flop, and you'll probably see quite a lot more of these red tags because the games are definitely the weak player to regular player ratio is certainly less favourable in 50 Having said that, I still think I and you can achieve a better hourly rate playing 50 with a low win rate than you can playing 30 with a slightly higher win rate, just because games aren't that much tougher, and we do need to push ourselves as players. It's fine to stay in our comfort zone to an extent, but we need to actually be engaged at stimulators and challenges to really pull the best out of ourselves. This is why I'm happy to play in 50, even though sometimes it makes me tear my hair out just a little bit more. It's because the long-term rewards are better. I would imagine my hourly rate is maybe $5-6 an hour better in these games than it is when I'm playing 30 and then what I have to balance is the extra $5-6 an hour worth the extra pressure, stress, whatever you want to call it. Is it worth it? And in my opinion it is, because it isn't that much harder. It's harder, but it's not so much harder that it's unbearable. So yeah, hopefully we'll get some fun spots. Here's one straight off the bat. This guy is pretty lucky. He's got the red tag, but he's close. He's close to having, if that gap wasn't quite so big, he'd have the lag tag. But that's sort of a smallish sample, I think. So now it's kind of tempting when I just jam it in his face, because this guy's in the pot too, and he may call me worse. This light blue tag is my tag that says someone's a bad player, or do I just call and keep this guy in the pot? That's the question I've got to ask myself now. There's $13 in the pot already. I think it's a good rule if I just take it down now and I block a lot of the hands you can call it off with. And then ace queen, you can do well against this guy's range, apart from when he actually has queens. But I'm not at all concerned about that, because I think I reasoned the hand out well. There's a very good chance I can make this guy fold quite a lot of hands that have decent equity. And this Reed guy, he really doesn't have to have queens there. I mean, I'm not sure what my note is. Maniac, it's a question mark. He may not be a maniac, but he's certainly given me the impression in past sessions that he's not too careful with his money. So yeah, that might look like a horrendous spew, but I really don't believe it is. I'm completely fine with the way I played the hand. That's a very standard isolation raise. I could make it slightly smaller because of their stack sizes, but my typical, when I isolate one limper, I usually go to 4 or 5x, and when I'm trying to isolate 2 limpers, I go to 6x is pretty much my standard. I don't particularly want to play, I mean, a hand like ace king, I'm happy to play that against 2 players, but there's a whole isolation range. I don't particularly want to be facing 2 players too often, and the reason for that is that our C-bets just work way better in heads-up pots than they work against 2 players. So we really do want to get the pot heads up most of the time, never just pick it up pre-flop. I'm completely fine with that. Shoe ace king can get quite a lot of value post-flop, but it's just ace high, and I'm quite happy just picking up 3.5 lines there, and comfortable in the knowledge that when I get called, I'm comfortably going to have the best hand most of the time, and be in the best position because I have position against 2 players that I perceive to be weak post-flop. Games look quite good right now. We have 2 light blue tags. That's always quite reassuring. It's always nice to see. I was just waiting for his stack size to pop up. I'm going to bet here. I don't think we're ever going to get him to fold an ace or a king. We might fold some pairs, and I have so much equity, I think it's fine. Now I'm just not going to barrel the turn. That turn changes nothing from his perspective. I may check call depending on how he sizes it. But I don't believe I have any fold equity on that particular turn card. I think betting would just be burning money. But he may give me an attractive price on the call. That's what we're getting here. We're getting kind of just over 2.5 to 1, which is nowhere near the odds I need. I need, obviously, we need closer to 5 to 1. But because this guy's so bad, I think there's a good chance I can get paid off if I hit the river. I don't cast a 7 as hitting the river. Here we have a really easy bet. The nuts. Hopefully this guy's got something. As I said, this is really easy for this side. Against better players, I would probably double barrel with just a jack high and the flush draw. But against somebody who's got the light blue tag, it kind of suggests to me they're not that into folding. And if people aren't that into folding, there's not really that much point semi-bluffing. Because the key part of semi-bluffing is the bluffing part of it. And we're not bluffing if the guy's never folded. And if we can't bluff him off anything, there's not really much point in semi-bluff. This video will be shorter than my previous videos, so I've had some feedback, I've been requesting feedback, and I've had some. I think people would prefer shorter videos. Sometimes people see a video that's an hour long and they get a little bit daunted by, do I really want to sit and watch a video for an hour? So what I'm going to start trying to do, and I may not be able to always do it, because it takes me quite a while to render the videos, upload them, and what have you, but I will try and produce more videos. I don't really want to commit to doing 2 per week, but I will try and certainly go to 6 a month rather than the 4 a month I've been doing. I enjoy making videos, they're good fun. I'm not sure how truly educational they are, but I like doing it, so I'm going to keep doing it, and if people don't watch them, well, who cares? I should probably just make this point now whilst I'm kind of outlining my plans. I am a microstakes coach. I'm starting to alter my kind of, for want of a better word, business plan, and I'm going to start changing the amount I charge per hour for the next raft of students that are taking, and I'm going to start going to charging just a flat $20 per hour, hopefully getting work from losing 2 NL through 10 NL players, or maybe some losing 25 NL players. And the reason for that is that I have quite a high turnover of players, because the kind of players I enjoy working with and helping and feel like really can help are players with some pretty common leaks that they're not really aware of, but I'm really good at spotting and correcting quite quickly. But because of that, I do have quite a high turnover of players. So I'm constantly feeling like I'm to recruit new players, and I want to build a good reputation for myself. I want to have a lot of work. I like to be kept busy. So hopefully by reducing my price to $20 per hour, I can attract more of the type of players I want to work with. It makes it more affordable for them, and hopefully I can keep myself really busy. I can keep my Skype group ticking over with lots of fresh faces, lots of fresh content, and hopefully that'll be better all round for everybody. So that's the self promotion out the way. Now I'm just going to try isolate this ARP character here, because when this guy just overlips Cheese Doom, I think it's very hard. I mean, he's a decent regular. It's very hard for him to have a real hand. He can have low pocket pairs a lot of the time, some sort of like weaky shooty connector type hands. And I just don't want to share this guy with him, this ARP character. I'm going to check back this flop here, and I may try and bluff the turn of the river. Here I'm just going to check this flop because if I'm in front, I'm just really unlikely that I'm going to get outdrawn. And it does weaken my range a little bit. And I'm just going to go with two quite small bets. Here on the 7 against this Enreed character, I'm going to call once and probably fold the river. And now I've been counterfeited. There's even less incentive to call, so it's a really easy fold. And of course, it's disappointing when you have people who tagged as maniacs and you never make too much of a hand against them. But it's important that we don't get too frustrated and just start making some quite poor calls against them. Here, you've noticed I've been 3/4 potty, but because this guy's in the blinds, I'm going to make a slightly bigger raise with a weak hand. And just want to try and play a bigger pot with him. Here we're going to have a good spot to 3-bet this guy for absolute pure value. And it will be my intention to, if I do flop a jack or an ace, to try and induce something from the guy. If he 4-bets me here, I'm just going to fold. It's not that my hand's strong enough to 4-bet and get it in with, even against a maniac. I wouldn't be that in love with that. But I think we can definitely check call here. And again, I don't see any value in betting, but I do see a decent amount of value in check calling. And I mean, I'm quite surprised he hasn't found a bet at some point with that hand, which is fortunate for me because I was planning on calling him. Yeah, I'm just going to bet this, try and make people fold hands like, well, kind of any pocket pairs that are lower than like 10s, jacks, queens. I don't expect them to fold anything like that. I certainly don't expect them to fold an ace or a king, but there's plenty of small medium pairs that you get to fold in, maybe even some queen. No, there's no better queen heist. Ignore me there for talking complete claptrap. But yeah, the kind of the thing was, I've got a weak cash hand, but just try and get someone to fold weaker hands. Sorry, stronger hands that still aren't that strong relative to that board. If I got called or raised, clearly, I will be shutting down, unless I spike the medical 10. He's got a rather charming name. Where are you from, sir? Brazil. Raise my dick. Right. If you have them sort of problems, there's probably some websites that you could visit that might be able to help you with that. I'm going to raise here just because I have two untagged players in the blind. 8-7 off isn't typically my cut-off range, but when we have two untagged players in the blinds who may or may not be good or bad, I don't know. I think it's fair to assume home by 2 could be worse than demand just based on stack size reads. I'm not going to see bet this board. I'm not hugely motivated to ever try to see bet bluff 2 players. If it checks through again, now I may just decide to take a small crack at the pot. Enread, what are you doing, sir? I'm going to raise here just for some value because it looks a little bit unusual. I'm just going to give up against home by 2. The ace doesn't really change anything. So it may obviously change if he's got one pair or something, but I think it changed enough for me to continue. I don't think he would have folded there. He may have done, who knows, but no, that was kind of just a right, they've checked twice, so let's just have a little stab because obviously my 8 high isn't going to win too often. But that was just a one stabber. They checked twice there, so it's a good enough reason to have a stab. This guy 22-18 with a small 3-bet, so he's probably opening quite wide. And with blockers, I'm happy to 3-bet bluff. With blockers to his 4-bet range, I mean there. For people who aren't quite sure what blockers mean, blockers are typically, you hear people talking about blockers, it's having cards in your hand that block people having the best hands you can have, like pocket aces, pocket kings, ace king. Also, if you've got an ace or a king in your hand, you block kings. You block a lot of the combinations of pocket kings. You block some of the combinations of ace king. So it's just less likely that we're going to be facing a 4-bet. I have no idea what this means again, but clearly we can't let it stand. Now we need to think about a size that we can make it so we can shove the other value. I'm a little bit concerned that 6-5 just got there with the line he's taken, but I won't be bet folding at this point. If we bet 6 here, I'll put 6 to a 20 in the pot. He'll have 19 left, so we can shove through that with another bet. Here I would have called if I thought this guy was a weak play. I mean, he could be a weak play because he's not reloading, so yeah, I think we can call. This is the guy from the earlier hand who was unmarked, where he looks like he's not topping his stack off, which is an indication that he may still be an okay player, but he's not going to be a strong regular because there aren't any strong regulars around that don't auto top the stack. This guy, I don't think he gets out of line too much. Post flop. I don't like my options here, so I'm just going to fold. Here against G-Zoom, I am going to 3-bet because I feel if I just flat, one of these two guys will squeeze me way too often. Here, same situation before. This guy's limped. This guy's over limped. If he had a real hand, he wouldn't be over limping. I wouldn't expect him to very often. So therefore I just want to kind of isolate the guy who I think is going to be bad. Here I'm just going to check to try and show that we're weak. I don't have a 3-street hand. I think this guy's range is quite weak. So with that in mind, I'm happy to either let him take a stab at the pot on the turn and then I could maybe pick off some bluffs, or now when he checks the turn again I can just start making some smallish bets and hope he somehow has maybe a pair with a draw or something. But I really don't know what he can have there. He's almost certainly going to have some suited connected just completely whiffed or some small pairs. Yeah, I think he's really quite weak. When some regulars are over limping against weak players, we can't be allowing that to happen. We need to be. There's just extra money in the pot. It's kind of almost like a live game concept or a full ring concept where people feel it's okay to overlimp with small pairs and what have you, because obviously they've got good implied odds on their hand. But if we know that they're never going to be overlimping there with, or not never, we should never say never, but if they're rarely going to be overlimping with two aces, two kings, two queens, two jacks, ace king, ace queen suited, all the really tight top end of the range. We can really play pretty safely against them and be happy isolating. I'm pretty confident they're not going to have anything too funky. Here I'm just going to never raise this hand, but every time there's this guy in the pot, I'm going to really widen my range to try and play as many pots as possible. Here I'm just going to peel because this guy's not a big squeezer, this guy's passive, and I kind of don't mind playing a pot multi-way against these two. And if we're going to flop trips, well, even more reason to do so. Unfortunately, it looks like nobody has anything, so I'm probably just going to win a $3.09 pot and not get much of our trips. But I want to start betting. I will be bluffing here some of the time, so I think we have to be betting our trips too. It's charmingly named Raise My Dick again. I won't raise your dick, sir, but certainly raise your small blind. Really not sure what motivates people to have such, not offensive, I don't get offended at all, but such pathetic names really. I mean, what goes through your mind? You know, you're registered for a poker site and of course I'll raise my dick because I'm cool and I'm out there and whatever. No sir, raise your dick if you're watching this. Don't mean to be rude, but probably just have a dick, I would imagine. People who use those sort of names, can't imagine the sort of person I'm going to have an awful lot in common with. So if you are watching, sorry, but your username is dreadful. Here I'm going to see bet for something of value against two players I presume to be bad. And then we get check min raised. And I just don't see any way to continue here. I expect this guy to keep the aggression up. So I don't think I'm going to call any further bets, so we'll just fold here. We could 4-bet here, we could call here. We could do a lot of things here. I'm going to choose to fold. I don't believe that guy's getting out of line too often. If he is going to get out of line, blind v blind's probably one of the places he's going to do. He will do it, but not enough for me to start making some dubious pre-flop decisions with hands. Pretty. A6, nice hand. Not that excited to play out of position in a 3-bet pot. I will be happy to 4-bet against this stall the ball guy. It's one of the more aggressive regulars in the game. I would have been happy to 4-bet that and get it in. Some players I wouldn't be that pleased to do it against. He would be one of them that I would be. He's after and raise my dick again. Against under the gun. Like / tag. So that means he's kind of on the aggressive side of tag. I could squeeze here. I'm confident I'll be doing okay against raise my dick if he was to back raise shove on me, but it will be a bit spurious, so we'll just fold. So this against fold to 3-bet. Another guy with an absolutely ridiculous name. Well, let's just see if you do fold to 3-bet, sir. I have no idea why people, when you see people with all sorts of like poker terminology in the names these days, if you're doing that, you're probably some kind of nerd, I would imagine. Why? Just why have such a username? I mean, congratulations for being boring, really. I'm going to just see bet once here. And now I'm going to fold. I have no idea what he's doing that with, but I'm presuming it's going to be some kind of pair that's thinking no ace, no king, no ace, no king. Oh, good. Now I can shove and make you fold everything that doesn't have to be crushed. This is kind of interesting. I think this guy has a draw most of the time here. This guy doesn't have to have anything because I'm just going to fold. I'm not really that fond of weakish one pair hands on monotone boards. As you can see, these games, as the session's drawing not to a close, but we're getting there, they are a lot more aggressive than the 13L games. So anyone who plays 13L is thinking, wonder what 15L plays like. You're getting a good example of it now. There's more aggressive maniacs, there's more aggressive regulars. You're just going to meet more aggression, and if you don't have an awful lot of discipline, you're going to find yourself in a lot of tricky spots. So you kind of just got to look forward there and think, well, I've got top pair on a monotone board. It's not even certain we're going to see the next card because the guy may well have put in a third bet, sorry. And it's just like, well, what good can really happen here? And the answer to that is probably not a lot of good. Unless we just run out of backdoor full house or something. Seems unlikely that's going to happen. Bauer, I don't know anything about him. Let's see where he's from. The United Kingdom. I probably want to keep him in the pot here. Because I'm in the United Kingdom. I love my country, but quite a lot of my countrymen make up quite a lot of the worst players in the 888 15L snap pool. So I want to play in pots with them. And the value I get from 3-betting making this guy fold and building up dynamic isn't as good as the value you get from when this guy's got a hand like Ace Jack or something and then just calls 2 bad bets when we hit. I could have donked there because again, there's for a reason I mentioned earlier, this just 4x4 character. He's not excessively aggressive post flop, so I could have donked there expecting that he wouldn't bet too often. I could squeeze here, I could flat. I'm just going to flat because people, when they pot it under the gun, they usually mean some business. I don't really want to put it to a 4-bet and then the whole world caves in on us because we have to fold. Checks through, we've got a good shot, seems like a good time as any to take a little stab at the pot. We're here against this guy, we're just going to bet the turn. I hope he jams on us, or if he doesn't, just really just has a really easy river shove, give me less than half pot on the river. I'm not going to try and bluff Stumpy here. The blue tag means he's really wide. He can have a hand like Ace 5 here and just check all 3 streets and not realise how terrible it is. So no, I'm not in the business of bluffing this type of player. And then he just makes an enormous bet. Not sure why we're lagging here. Well, AJ takes not about to cave in on me. But he makes a bet like that, it's kind of indicative of he's got a hand he's been slow playing and now he's thinking, oh shit, I've missed a lot of value here. Let's just make a huge bet that can't really get caught by much. Call here. This is a bit different to the King 10 earlier because I'm closing the action. So I'm more happy to call, knowing I'm not going to get squeezed. And this earlier when I 3-bet the King 10, I wasn't closing the action, so I left myself quite prone to being squeezed. And this guy also, well, he's slightly tight. He plays like a 17-13 type style. His range gave me a little bit tighter for everything all around. And I prefer to keep his range a little bit wider. I won't be too pleased to check call too many bets against this guy. I don't think I've got that many draws in his range. I think I have more draws in my range than he has in his. So I'm just going to now. I was considering bluffing, but no, I think my hand's still too strong to bluff with, so I'll just check. I was considering bluffing there. If I had, say, a hand like a Jack 10 or maybe 2 9s or something, I would have considered bluffing then. No, it's looking like 888. He's certainly having some kind of a lag issue. See, it looks like he's lagging a little bit there. I still kind of want to bluff here. But this guy just doesn't get out of line too often. He's a nit. Yeah. He may have bluffed me there, I'm not sure. But pay enough nits. And I am. I'm on a mission, self-confessing it. Paying off nits isn't really one of my favourite things to do in the world, so we won't do it. So anyway, we just ticked past the 30-minute section of the video. I will now play around to my blinds and end the video. It does feel a little bit short. It feels like I want to do some more, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see what kind of reception the shorter format gets. And if people want longer videos again, I can just very easily go back to making them, but no. I think for now we'll stick to the plan of making short videos, even though I do feel like there's not been that much content or whatever. I kind of guess that's going to be part of the course when we have short videos. Sometimes things aren't going to happen as much, so whatever. So I hope you all enjoyed watching me. Actually, I think this was going to be the first video of me where I've actually lost. So for those of you that don't like me, I hope you've enjoyed watching me lose. For those that enjoy my content, I hope you, who knows, just send me 50 cents on 888. If everyone sends me 50 cents to watch the video, I'll get all my losses back. And that'd be really nice. But no, in all seriousness, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you do want to talk about coaching, leave a message on me on YouTube, leave a message on me on Reddit, on 2+2, on Microgrinder, whatever it is you find this at. And what I might start doing is also leaving my Skype address in YouTube and deal with the fact that 8 million porn bots will start adding me, and hope that Mapsim might attract some of you to just think, yeah, we'll give this guy a whirl. So there we go, we're all done. Thanks for watching. You all take care, and I'll catch up with you all soon.